Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, that means for the text version of this quiz, please install GKToday Academy app. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. This is the name of Telegram channel. Now we have started a new channel, Civils Academy, so you can subscribe it if you find it relevant. Now let's start. What is the maximum sum insured under the standard Corona Kavach policy insurance cover? So the maximum amount is 5 lakh rupees, while the minimum is 50,000. Now recently it was in news because IRDAI has allowed the insurers to offer this policy as a group insurance product. That means it can be offered to a group of doctors or a group of healthcare workers. Recently IRDAI allowed that the insurance providers can provide this policy as a group insurance product. Now what is IRDAI? It is Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. So apart from this insurance policy, one more insurance policy was in news, and it is Arogya Sanjeevani. It is the insurance policy of SBI General Insurance. Now recently, SBI General Insurance was in news as recently PC Kantpal has been appointed as the MD and CEO of SBI General Insurance. Sumit Deb has been appointed as the CMD of which organization? So recently, he was appointed as the CMD of NDMC, that is National Mineral Development Corporation. So it is the iron ore mining company of our country. And Sumit Deb will have tenure till 2023. Now apart from this, recently Arun Kumar was nominated as the Vice Chairperson of International Union of Railways. Arun Kumar is the DG of RPF. What is RPF? It is Railway Protection Force. In addition to him, recently few other personalities were also in news. Recently, Ashok Lavasa was appointed as the Vice President of Asian Development Bank. India has signed agreement with which country for the establishment of emergency medical services? So, for this purpose, India signed agreement with Maldives. Capital is Malé. Now, the country was also in news as recently it became the 54th member of Commonwealth Association. It was also in news as recently IAF launched Operation Sanjeevani, and the idea was to provide essential drugs to Maldives under this Operation Sanjeevani. IAF is Indian Air Force. Who has been appointed as the new non-executive chairperson of Bajaj Finance Limited? Right answer is Sanjay Bajaj. So recently, the present non-executive chairperson of Bajaj Finance, Rahul Bajaj, decided to step down from his post, and Rahul Bajaj will continue to serve as non-executive chairperson. And now the vice chairman Sanjay Bajaj has been appointed as the next chairman. Which international organization has approved 750 billion euros coronavirus fund for its member countries? So it is European Union, and it has approved 750 billion euro coronavirus fund. Now recently European Union was also in news because of Brexit. It was also in news because of United for Biodiversity Coalition. European Union was also in news as recently the 15th meeting of India-European Union held virtually. What is the name of anti-tank guided Nag missile which was test fired by DRDO? So the name of this missile is Dhurvastra, and recently it was tested by DRDO. Now what is DRDO? It is Defense Research and Development Organization. It is under Defense Ministry. Now DRDO was founded in 1958 and its headquarters is in New Delhi. Recently DRDO was in news because of Ultra Swachh. It was also in news because of COVSAC. Which union ministry is organizing the Vriksharopan Abhiyan program? So please note that it is an initiative of Ministry of Coal. So it is a tree plantation drive, and it was organized by Ministry of Coal. Now apart from this, recently Ministry of Culture launched a tree plantation drive, and it is Sankalp Parv. So it was a tree plantation drive by Ministry of Culture. Now Culture Ministry was in news recently as ASI is under Culture Ministry. What is ASI? It is Archaeological Survey of India, and recently ASI was in news as V. Vidyavati became the new Director General of ASI. Now apart from this, recently government announced Nagar One initiative, and the idea is to increase the urban forest across the country. India is to sign Defense Logistic Sharing Pact with which country? So this country is Russia. President of Russia is Mr. Putin. Recently, Russia was in news because of Ambarnaya River. This river was in news because of oil spill. Russia was also in news because of constitutional amendment. Apart from that, Russia was also in news because of Ganga-Volga dialogue. In addition to that, Russia was also in news because of Arctica M satellite. The Kakrapa atomic power plant that recently achieved criticality is in which state of India? So this atomic power plant is in Gujarat, and recently it was in news because it achieved criticality. What is the meaning of criticality? That means now it has reached a normal operating condition of a reactor. So that means it is now ready to generate power. Now recently Gujarat was also in news because of FSSAI Food Safety Index. And as per this index, Gujarat, Goa and Chandigarh are the top performing states and union territory. So Gujarat is the top performing state in larger category states, Goa is in smaller states category, and Chandigarh is on top in terms of union territories. What is FSSAI? It is Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. It is under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Recently FSSAI was in news as Arun Singhal became the new CEO of FSSAI. Which union minister represented India in the G20 Digital Ministers Meet? Right answer is Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad. So recently the G20 Digital Ministers meeting was attended by Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, and this summit was headed by Saudi Arabia. So for 2020, Saudi Arabia is the president of G20. Next year, Italy is going to be the president, and next to next year, that means in 2022, India will host this summit. Now answer in comment box which country was the host of first summit of G20. Now Italy was also in news as it was the host of IFAD Governing Council. So this council held in Rome in Italy. In fact, the headquarters of FAO is also in Rome. FAO is Food and Agriculture Organization. Who has been appointed as the head to probe the encounter involving the Kanpur-based gangster? So the name of the gangster was Vikas Dubey, and recently a commission was constituted to probe the encounter, and this commission will be headed by Justice B.S. Chauhan, and it will have two other members. One is Justice Shashikant Agrawal, another one is former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, Mr. K.L. Gupta. So these two are going to be the member, and it will be headed by Justice B.S. Chauhan. Which Indian public sector bank has announced a corporate agency agreement with LIC? So recently UBI, which was amalgamated with Corporation Bank and Andhra Bank, has now announced a corporate agency agreement with LIC. That means now UBI will market the LIC products to the bank customers. Which state government has signed an MOU, that is Memorandum of Understanding, with Amul to boost self-help group and milk cooperatives? So recently Andhra Pradesh signed this agreement with Amul. Now the state of Andhra Pradesh was also in news because of Restart initiative. Andhra Pradesh was also in news as recently first online Nistha program was started for Andhra Pradesh, and it is an initiative of MHRD. Recently MHRD was in news as this ministry launched Manodarpan initiative. So this initiative has been launched to provide the psychological support to the students. What is MHRD? It is Ministry of Human Resource Development. Which country has conducted a successful flight test of 3D printed aircraft engine? So this country is Russia, and it has successfully conducted the flight test of MGTD-20 gas turbine engine, and this engine has been printed in a 3D manner. Now Russia was also in news as it was the host of BRICS Heads of Tax Authorities meeting. BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. Now there is a bank related to BRICS, and it is New Development Bank. Recently this NDB, which is also known as BRICS Bank, that means formerly it used to be known as BRICS Bank, was in news because Marcos Trojo became the new president of New Development Bank. Now he is from Brazil. Recently Brazil was in news as it suspended the WhatsApp Pay facility in Brazil. WhatsApp Pay facility was recently launched for the first time by Facebook in Brazil. So these were the most important questions of today's quiz. Now we are going to cover important news. Feel free to skip it at your own risk if you do not like the format. So first news is related to DRDO, as DRDO has established a COVID-19 testing facility, and this testing facility has been set up in Leh based this laboratory. What is the name of laboratory? It is DIHAR, that is Defense Institute of High Altitude Research. So this is in Leh, and recently COVID-19 testing facility was launched by DRDO in this institution. Next is retirement age of doctors. So recently Odisha increased the retirement age of doctors from 62 to 65, and this has been increased for the Odisha Medical and Health Service doctors. Next is Walmart India. So recently Walmart India was in news as Flipkart Group has acquired 100% stakes in Walmart India Private Limited, and now Flipkart has decided to launch a new entity, and it is Flipkart Wholesale. So this pilot project will provide facilities for grocery and for fashion. Next is 3T Cricket Solidarity Cup. So recently this was in news as it was organized by the South Africa board, and it was launched to raise the fund for COVID-19. And it is known as 3T Cricket Solidarity Cup because 3 teams are going to play in this cup, and that's why it is 3T Cricket. Next news is related to country of origin. So recently central government provided an affidavit in Delhi High Court that it is mandatory for the e-commerce websites to provide the country of origin. That means whatever product they are selling through their e-commerce website, they need to provide the information about the country in which that product was produced. Next is Committee on the Content Regulation in the Government Advertising. So recently the CCRGA was in news as it has sent notice to the Delhi government in the context of advertisement. And this CCRGA is chaired by Mr. O.P. Rawat, who is the former Chief Election Commissioner of India. Next is postal ballots. So recently, Election Commission of India has announced that it is not going to extend the facility of postal ballot to the people above 65. It is important to note that recently, Law Ministry announced that people above the age of 65 would be able to vote through postal ballot. Now, Election Commission of India announced that it will not be possible due to logistic issues. Next is Mission COPE, that is COVID Plasma Endeavour. So it is related to Karnataka, and for this purpose, Karnataka's first plasma bank was recently inaugurated at HCG Hospital. Next is Ballon d'Or 2020. So it is related to football, and recently it was in news because it has been cancelled due to COVID-19. So this is a football honor, and it was set up in 1956, and this is first time that this award will not be conferred this year. Next is Sahil Seth. So recently he was in news as he was appointed as honorary advisor to the BRICS Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Next is Hammer missiles. So India, that is Indian Air Force, is going to procure these Hammer missiles from France. Next is Illness to Wellness Initiative. So this initiative has been launched by ASSOCHAM in association with Savlon. Next is National Mango Day. So this National Mango Day is celebrated on 22nd of July. And last news is related to China. So this Tianwen is the first mission of China to the Mars. That means it is the first successful mission of China to the Mars. Apart from that, recently one more mission to Mars was in news and it is Hope Probe. So this is related to UAE and it was launched from Japan. So these were the most important events of today's video. Now homework. So first homework is what is RAISE initiative. So the first homework is what is the meaning of net neutrality. Second homework is please read about TDS 80, that is Telecom Dispute Settlement and Appellate Tribunal. And third homework is please read about PRI and ULB, that is Panchayati Raj Institutions and Urban Local Bodies. So that was all for the day. Thank you.